I'm not
I like that you said, "In there we go." So Bohemian Rhapsody, I mean, who wouldn't want to write one of the greatest rock, music, pop anthems ever? I mean, I imagine when Freddie Mercury and Queen brought in a 7-minute single, the producers and the radio people, the record company must have thought they were crazy, but I think it was the most sort of complicated, beautiful, operatic thing that anyone had ever maybe heard in pop music at that time, or maybe ever. I think to this day, it continues to move people, and it doesn't seem to matter when those people were born, where those people are from, what language they speak. That's sort of the magic of an incredible song. Generation after generation are moved by it, and so I don't wish that I wrote it so that I could have the money from writing it, or it's just honestly the accolades. I would just brag about it all the time. I would never get onto an airplane or go to a 7-Eleven without telling people that I was the one who wrote Bohemian Rhapsody.
The winner takes it all.
The Winner Takes It All was written by, well, at least some of the parts of the group ABBA. And what can we say about ABBA? I mean, I wish I wrote all their songs. They just had the greatest sense of melody, time, space. It's amazing that they captured this perfection so what seemed to be easily when it's not. That's an incredibly beautiful song, and it's funny because it's not like it's a slow song. It's got a great kind of groove. It gets into a groove, but it's incredibly melancholy, and I love the contradiction between these beautiful, bright melodies that Bjorn would write, and the lyrics that were incredibly sad. I think that there was something just so incredible about them. It's funny, I didn't know really what ABBA was or who they were when I was growing up. I think, you know, maybe I knew my mom and dad listened to them, and it was one of those groups where I knew there was a stigma attached to them or something, and the older I got, it was like the more into music I got, the more I just respected them and their abilities and the songs and the production and the harmonies and everything, the lyrics, everything. And so The Winner Takes It All is I think it's one of the greatest songs ever written. And of course, I'd love to be a part of that. When a Man Loves a Woman. I mean, listen, it's really romantic. I love the concept of that sense of unconditional love. I love the concept of you loving someone so much that that ego flies out the door, that your own sense of self, that you've put them in front of you, you've put them ahead of you. You would just do anything for them, if that included even putting your own life on the line. And sometimes when you love someone so much, you risk that, you know? You risk. Love is expensive. Love has a massive cost, and part of that cost is that when you lose someone that you love, the pain is just intolerable. And I think it's just a really beautiful song. It's funny now because as we get into the years we're in now, it's a little bit dated. I think, you know, you could say when a man loves a man, when a woman loves a woman, we could go a lot of different places here. But listen, I wish I could have written a song like that. I wish I had written that song. And if somebody wanted to update it and take it and interpret it in their own way for who they are and how they feel, I would love that too. But great song.
All You Need Is Love.
All You Need Is Love is an incredible song, which I think may just say it all. With those however many, all you need is love. With those 5 words, I think pretty much the world revolves around that. I think that's why we're here. I think it's how the universe works. I think I think it's maybe the greatest song, in my opinion, ever written. Just an incredible melody, beautiful words. It's touching, it's moving, it's inspiring. It's funny, you know, you never know where something great will come. And sometimes it comes from these little known bands where, you know, you think, where are they now? But I never knew why the Beatles didn't click the way that I thought they would, especially with a song like that, and the members that they had. If you didn't know, it was written by an actual group called the Beatles. They're from Germany, and or Canada. I'm not sure which one, but nevertheless, big hit, a big one-hit kind of wonder thing. And I wish I had written it, because I would have been happy to be one of the three Beatles. There were three of them, I think. I'm not a historian, but 2 or 3, for sure.
We only said goodbye with words.
Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. I just, you know, I live my life, and a lot of it, a lot of what's important to me, at least musically, is authenticity. A lot of what I do boils down to being honest and real and authentic. And I think not only did that song fit the voice, the personality, no matter, it was a timestamp of how she was feeling and what she was living. And I think that the honesty that she captured, the authenticity, the production, Mark Ronson's production, her vocals, make this one of the few songs that I believe will be a classic for the rest of our lives. And that's saying something. That's really saying something. When you can do something that allows for no dating, no timestamp. You know, you'd never know if you came down to Earth right now from Mars and you studied music, you would have no clue if that song was a hit in 1950 or 2019. You wouldn't know. And I think there's great magic there, and I wish that she was still with us, because I can't imagine she was a monster. She would have just made so much more beautiful music, and I would have loved to listen to it. And she'll be missed.